Listen to me. You are watching Billy D.
Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I am Billy D, and today we are talking about sequels. And we're not talking about 3s and 4s and 5s. No, we're not even talking about prequels. So sorry Pearl, you're for a different list on a different day. So part 2s, I could list 20 of them. In fact, I did. So here are the losers. Not gonna lie, Night of the Demons Part 2 is heavily slept on. Devil's Rejects is a kind of overhyped, but I still enjoy it. Friday the 13th Part 2 is awesome. Hellraiser, Hellbound, that is great to see. The visuals are amazing on that, guys. Don't sleep on that. Terrifier 2, I didn't really like the story elements they added to it, but the Unalives are fantastic. Final Destination Part 2 has some of the best Unalives you will ever see. And if you want story, if you want substance, then Bride of Frankenstein is the way to go. This is kind of a hot take. I have this above Bride of Frankenstein because I enjoy rewatching this, and this is Resident Evil Apocalypse. This is just early 2000s cheese, and I enjoy that. Then at number 12 we have Saw 2. Saw 2 is just a fun romp, builds on the first one, gives some lore to the Jigsaw Killer. Number 11, this is just because it's been forever since I've seen this film. I did enjoy it better than the first one, and that's 28 Weeks Later. This could potentially be a top 10er, but for right now, you're number 11.
Y'all caught up now?
Okay, good. Because number 10 is a doozy. This is technically a start of a new franchise, but it is kind of a sequel to the original Night of the Living Dead. I'm going to go ahead and put Return of the Living Dead right here. This is 80s nostalgia in a bag. It has great music, dancing in a graveyard, you get Tar Man, and some of the cheesiest dialogue you would ever hear.
Kill something that's already dead.
Well, how do I know, Fred? I don't know. Let me think.
It's not a bad question, Bert.
Coming in at number 9 is another fun movie. In fact, this is probably the favorite of the franchise, and that is Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Chop Top Bill Moseley is in this, and when he plays Chop Top, he is crazy. He is a music enthusiast, not to mention the weird thing he does with that coat hanger and that plate. Ooh, okay. Bubba is probably the best Bubba I've ever seen, especially in this one. I like how he falls in love with the radio DJ.
I got a real good eye for prime meat. Runs in the family.
Coming in at number 8 is a franchise that is criminally underrated and needs to be talked about more, and that's Phantasm, and we're going to talk about Phantasm 2. The unfortunate thing about Phantasm 2 is they recast Mike, but the movie's about Mike and Reggie going on a revenge tour, and they're on the hunt for the tall man. This movie is filled with so many awesome things that I really want you guys to go see. There's little people like Jawas just running around. There's these big metallic balls that do crazy things when they get around people.
That's what she said.
The first movie is a good psychological. The second movie, it just ramps it up.
You think that when you die, you go to heaven. You come to us.
And speaking of ramping things up for the sequel, we're going to talk about number 7, and that is Blade 2. Blade 2 is a jump up in quality if you ask me. Yeah, some of the CGI doesn't really land, but it's directed by Guillermo del Toro, the guy who did the Hellboy movies. Wesley Snipes comes back as Blade, and so does Wessler, and they're on a tour to defeat Reapers, and they kind of have to make an alliance with some vampires. There are some great action scenes, some great betrayals. Some days it's hard for me to tell which one I like better, Blade 1 or Blade 2. It really just bums me out that Blade 3 didn't really work. I love Wesley Snipes in this movie. I just wish he would have gave it his all for the third. And at number 6 is Halloween 2. The Halloween 2 has one of the best intros of all time. Not to mention they redid the theme, and it sounds awesome in this. Michael Myers is more supernatural in this. Laurie doesn't really have much to do, but the robotic nature, the scariness of Michael, the brutalness of Michael is awesome to see. And this is the movie where you find out Michael and Laurie are brother and sister, and I really like that. And I love Loomis a lot. This movie also has the iconic Michael Myers blood running down his face. There's just so much to love in this. Coming in at number 5 is Scream 2, and from the jump, the opening sequence is just amazing. I like how they added a fake stab movie kind of making fun of Scream. I like the college kids and the new cast that you get to know. Mickey is one of my favorite characters of the franchise. And this is the movie that takes Sidney Prescott from basic final girl to one of the best final girls of all time. Also like how this is kind of swaying my emotions. They take out one of the original cast members, which bums me out, but this tells me that nobody's safe. The only issue is I still really don't care for Dewey. Coming in at number 4 is Child's Play 2. This takes the Chucky concept and puts it at full throttle. Chucky is just so cool, and his one-liners and everything he says is just god tier. Not to mention Alex Vincent, the kid in the movie. He plays Andy so good in this. The first movie you can tell, oh, he's a first-time actor. He's kind of like, This time around, he's believable. I dig it. His adoptive sister, Kyle, is just cool to see too. I liked how they're trapped in this big warehouse full of Chuckies at the end. And Brad Dourif. Brad Dourif is a horror icon through and through. Coming in at number 3 is a more modern style horror movie, and that's The Conjuring 2. This is a continuation of Lorraine and Ed Warren's adventures. And you got 4 British kids just doing whatever they want with a single parent household. Some crazy scary guy just sitting in his chair trying to enjoy his TV. And these brats are just everywhere wanting biscuits when they're really cookies. I really like the inclusion of Valak. The scares are real in this. This movie made me jump so many times. I loved seeing this movie in theaters. In fact, it was one of the movies I got to see like 3 or 4 times. Just because I wanted to see everybody's reaction when certain scenes happen. Don't get me started on the portrait scene. That's just phenomenal. Speaking of phenomenal, what do I like a lot? I like comedy. I like gore. I like some of the craziest things you'll ever see. And what is that? That is Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 is a continuation of Ash, and it's kind of a soft reboot just in case if people missed it. They have a little bit more of a budget. In fact, Stephen King liked the first one so much, he's the reason why this got a sequel. I like the way they did the sets and the practical effects. Sometimes dismembering your main protagonist is kind of distracting, but they do it well in this. The added people that come to the cabin are cool, and this movie is the directional pivot that I love. But not gonna lie, this sets up one of the best movies of all time. And speaking of directional pivots, coming in at number 1 is a movie heavily debated if it's a horror movie or not, and that's Aliens. Aliens is one of the best horror movies of all time, and I say it's a horror movie. You know why? Because just because you have a gun in there, just because you have colonial marines, doesn't make it any less scary. These monsters are taking out these marines left and right like it's nothing. And don't tell me the face crawler scene where they're trapped in a room with 2 of them, that's not terrifying. Or when Newt goes in the water and there's an alien right behind her. That's insane. Aliens is one of the best sequels, in fact one of the best movies of all time. I want you to see all of this list, but please tell me, have you guys seen Phantasm 2? That's the one I really want to know. Have you watched Phantasm 2? And why haven't you subscribed yet? You need to subscribe. And if you did, I love you. Thank you guys for coming back and watching, and please stay tuned. I'll be posting more.